Hey, good afternoon. How y'all doing? It's Well Red Beard. Let's talk about a book. We're here for a book review. It's a poetry review. We're in Crow Calls. Got a glare there. Crow Calls, Volume 1. This is a collective endeavor. It's edited by Cassandra Thompson and Marie Casey. It is by Quill and Crow Publishing. It's an anthology. There's a loose bit in the front that I am paraphrasing here because I don't have it memorized, but talked about how this was an effort to get people to tweet their poetry, to put their poetry out there for public consumption through a thing called Crow Calls. Now, I don't know if it's just like a writing prompt or an image or what it is, but a lot of people will tweet poetry about that. And this is a collected anthology of some of those Crow Calls. I'm going to give the book 3 stars. I enjoyed it. It's one of those situations where not everything spoke to me, but the poems that did really did. There are 5 poems in here that I really, really liked. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are more poems that I liked, but 5 that I really marked and really dug and really wanted to focus on and share with you. So the first of those poems, it's on page 11. It's David Andrews. And I want to say this is the first time Mr. Andrews has published anything. It says he's an accidental poet who spends his lunch breaks pondering the world so he can create poems by nightfall. So this is his first publication, which I found super cool. That's what I'm here for, to find new voices. But cool poem. Anyway, page 11. We walked barefoot, dust drifting with each step, as pebbles dug sharp reminders of where we stood. I like that. Sorry. As I messed up. If I comment in the middle of the poem, I really mess it up, don't I? Let me start over and I won't comment until the end. How about that? We walked barefoot, dust drifting with each step, as pebbles dug sharp reminders of where we stood. A barren land where perfect faces fit in circles, only showing slivers of reality. Until we reached the meadow where the soft grass swayed, under pale moonlight, illuminating our imperfections, allowing us to breathe. I like that. I like the ending of that when it's talking about our imperfections. I mean, we all have them, right? We all kind of keep them hidden, especially in the social media world. We all live these somewhat perfect lives, right? But when our imperfections are open and out there, and people see them, and the light hits them, sometimes it allows us to breathe easier. And I just dug that idea. That's the way I chose to interpret it. Now, the second poem, page 14, this is by A.L. Garcia. And there is a word in here that I cannot pronounce to save my damn life, which is why I am reshooting this video for the second time, because I tried to pronounce it and I fucked it all up. We'll try again. If I mess it up this time, we're just going to keep on going. I'm going to tell you the word is surreptitiously. Surreptitiously. I don't know what it means. Not really. So here we go. But I like this poem a lot. So, love. She is a most unforgiving seductress, like the morning dove. Her majesty visits the restless, inspiring surreptitiously the need that renders the most powerful helpless. She is a cunning paramour indeed. Even the gods bow before her grace. We all proceed to bare our hearts for her embrace, and she accepts our tainted offerings, knowing we have hell to face, for condemning the bloody, beating things to her eternal dance amidst infernal rings. Dug that one. Now, on the next page here, page 15, Buried by Lynn C. Falk. This is a longer poem. I wasn't going to read it. Actually, I am going to read it. I'm going to read it at the end because it's a longer one. So if you don't want to stay here for the full time, you're not overwhelmed with me attempting to read a longish poem, which means I'm probably destined to make a mistake in it. Another poem that I marked here, also by A.L. Garcia. So I marked 5 poems, and she had 2 of them. She roasted his heart on a spitfire to cremate the remains of love. then threw her own into the pyre, so it might all be done at once. But it refused to burn. Blackened on the edges, it was returned to her, mangling the solemn pledge to never feel again, ashes smoldering in vain. So, Miss Garcia's got some dark shit, some love-based dark shit, which ain't it the truth? Man, dug those two poems. All right, so this last one I marked is on page 54. This is by K.R. Weiland. And it does not have a title, but it goes something like this. They said that she was worthless, used up, a hopeless case, and she believed the lies, that she was broken, until one day she saw something new within herself, and she became more than what she was before, defying all their words, turning the past and the pain and the memories to ash. I dig that. I like that one. All right, one more. So this is the long one, and it's by Lynn C. Falk. All right. I love the opening to this one. She had spent a lifetime making herself small, making herself mouse and fly, so that no one noticed her. Being noticed meant being hit or worse. So she buried the sunshine, the dandelions, the secret parts of herself. She didn't bury them inside of her own body. No, what if a tiger might bubble up and make her sass back? Or if a crow laughed, or if sadness did a half-assed job on the dishes. It was safer to keep those things far away from herself, and so they stayed, until the day came when she decided she wanted them back. Nothing changed, not really. She just thought of how pleasant it would be to talk, to laugh, to cry, without apologizing for it. To not measure her body every day to make sure that she wasn't taking up too much space, too much food, too much existing. She slipped a powder some kid sold her into his bottle before the nightly binge began. She sat, rabbit, gerbil, lizard, making herself as small as possible. She watched as his eyelids began to close, his chest stopped moving, but his breath was still barely just there. Sparrow, grasshopper, stone. She took a knife and began to dig into his abdomen. It was messy, and she almost lost her dinner, but finally she found them, just where she had buried them. Dandelions, bubble baths, fireflies, giggles, kept safely in his belly. All these years, they were all hers once again. And that's called Buried by Lindsay Falk. And it does a little funny thing here right at the point where she finds them, those buried things, the dandelions, bubble baths, fireflies, giggles. It does a thing with the formatting there that I thought was pretty cool as well. So that's it. I'm going to give the book 3 stars, but I really like some of these poems. I know that A.L. Garcia, who I marked 2 of her poems, I think has her own debut collection out or coming out. Very interested in that. David Andrews, this is his first publication, and I really liked his poem here, this first one on page 11. So that's it. That's all I'm going to do here. Crow Calls, Volume 1. This is Well Read Beard. This has been my review here, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're enjoying all your books, all of them as much as I am. If not, you're reading the wrong damn books.